Hey guys, Churchy here. So in part 1 of the Highlander build guide, link in the description, I showed you how to get some ridiculous resistances and be set up to farm some of the endgame bosses. In this video, I want to show you how to take that further and become almost completely immortal, as well as showing you a way to deal an incredible amount of damage. This build is high risk, high reward. You'll be able to kill the endgame bosses incredibly quickly. But a quick warning, because this build uses the Exalted passive skill, eventually you'll hit a point where you've got a negative 90% debuff to your max life, and if you die, you'll be trapped in the in-between forever. So you'll have to be careful about what you fight and what you avoid, but by keeping your gear repaired and by using boons and some other buffs, you'll be able to become 100% invulnerable to everything in the game except bleed and fall damage, and you'll be able to farm a decent amount of the endgame bosses quickly and without hassle. When you do reach stage 3 of the life drain debuff, my advice would be to avoid enemies that cause damage over time effects, don't jump from any heights, and don't fight the following bosses: Elite Alpha Tyrannosaur, Brand Squire, Elite Beast Golem, Elite Crescent Shark, and Elite Burning Man. These bosses all cause debuffs that lower your resistances below 100%, which then allows them to kill you. The Elite Tyrannosaur is your nemesis. It's resistant to your main damage types and it will make you bleed. So if you want to fight it before the life drain kicks in. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to it. Step 1. Get the Lantern of Souls and Kintsugi set. The first thing you need to do is get the Lantern of Souls. This is a bit of a commitment because you have to play through 3 of the 4 blue chamber quests to get it, and the character you use to get it isn't actually the one who will be using it. A full walkthrough of the quests is beyond the scope of this video, but when you reach the 3rd blue chamber quest, make sure you encourage and reassure Roland before the quest begins and during each conversation with him throughout the quest. You'll need to do this to get the Lantern of Souls. There are a couple of times during the blue chamber quests that you'll need to travel to the Giant's Village in the Hallowed Marsh. On one of your visits, buy the Kintsugi armor set from the blacksmith. You'll need 1,400 silver for the whole set. Step 2. Get the legacy chests ready. I've left a link in the description to a way to do some legacy chest shenanigans. This will get you the white Kintsugi set and the Lantern of Souls a lot faster, so if you don't have a lot of time, it might be the right way for you, but for this video, I want to show you the legit way to use the legacy chests. So now that you've got the Lantern of Souls and Kintsugi armor set, it's time to put them in the legacy chests. There are 4 legacy chests, 1 in each region. It doesn't really matter what item you put in what chest, but I'd suggest putting the Lantern of Souls in the Cierzo storage legacy chest for easy access by other characters later. The legacy chest in the Hallowed Marsh is in the Spire of Light. Access it by activating the levers spread throughout the dungeon. Head into the basement. Activate more levers and you'll be able to gain access to the teleporter in the basement that will take you to where the chest is. You'll have to lure away the enemy there or kill it. The legacy chest in the Enmerkar forest is in the Vigil pylon. Access it by solving the teleportation puzzle. There are ghosts in the puzzle that you can avoid or kill. To solve the puzzle, go straight, left, straight, left, left, right, straight. This will open the teleporter at the end of the puzzle. When you go through the teleporter, you'll encounter an obsidian elemental and a burning man guarding the legacy chest. You can try being a ninja and quickly put an item in the legacy chest before they notice you, or you can fight them. The fight can be tough if you aren't prepared. The legacy chest in the Abrasive Desert is in the slide. Access it by pulling the lever in the room with the bandits, lure the bandits downstairs, open the room with the shell horror in it, and while they are distracted fighting each other, hit the two levers in the room the shell horror was in. Now head back upstairs and you'll be able to access the legacy chest. The legacy chest in Churchy is in Cierzo, in the Cierzo storage area. To access it, you need the Cierzo storage key. You receive that key when you join the blue chamber, so you should already have it. If you don't have it, you can also complete the Vendavel quest to get it. Step 3. Retrieve the white Kintsugi set and Lantern of Souls. Now that the Kintsugi set and lantern are in the legacy chests, make a new character and select the character who put the lantern and Kintsugi set into the legacy chests as the new character's legacy. Now you can either follow part 1 of the Highlander guide to set yourself up with the breakthroughs and some other skills you'll need and then retrieve the legacy items, or simply use this new character to retrieve the now white Kintsugi set and the Lantern of Souls from the legacy chests around the world, and then use split screen to transfer the items to a previously made character. Step 4. Get the Sunfall Axe. Next, you'll need to get the Sunfall Axe. In part 1 I suggested the Holy Mission as the faction you should join. You don't have to get it during the quest, but the third quest in the Holy Mission questline will set you up nicely for step 5 of this video and will give you an easy opportunity to grab the Sunfall Axe. When you talk to Oliel in the Levant slums, suggest the Stone Titan Caves is where you should investigate. The cave is in the northwestern part of the Abrasive Desert, close to the middle of the region. Once you're inside, make sure you activate the 5 rune tablets. The Sunfall Axe will be sitting on the 5th rune tablet at the bottom of the cave if the other 4 have been activated. So start at the top and work your way down. Step 5. Get the Exalted passive skill and Immolate. Assuming you've got a character who followed part 1, you'll have the Shamanic Resonance Breakthrough skill from the Shaman tree, the Master of Motion Specialization skill from the Warrior Monk tree, the Runic Prefix Specialization skill from the Rune Sage tree, and the Des and Egoth runes to cast Runic Protection. So, assuming that that's the case, and you've also now got the Lantern of Souls, the White Kintsugi set, and the Sunfall Axe, all that's left to do is get yourself the Exalted passive by completing the Holy Mission questline, and choosing to sacrifice yourself in place of Elinara in the final moments of the last quest.
Go now. Protect Ori as you see fit. The rest of the holy mission trusts in you.
Once you finish that quest, you'll be in Monsoon, so quickly pop by Alamon, the Philosopher Trainer, and pick up Sigil of Fire and Mana Ward. You'll be able to combine these to cast Immolate. Side note, make sure you start carrying a bunch of Fire Stones. You need them to cast Fire Sigil. Combine a thick oil and Mana Stone at an alchemy kit to make one. Epilogue. How to use the build plus other options. Now that you've got all the skills and gear together, you're ready to use some potions, spells, and varnishes to become an unstoppable killing machine. First, let's talk about damage. The Exalted passive is doubling all your damage, so that's a great start. The white Kintsugi armor set is giving you an extra 20% fire damage. Now add a Warm Potion and Discipline Potion into the mix, and because of Shamanic Resonance, you'll get another 30% fire and physical damage. Drop a Fire Sigil and cast Mana Ward. Now you've combined the spells to cast Immolate and have got another 30% fire damage. Apply a Fire Varnish to your Sunfall Axe to give another 10% increase to fire damage and 12 extra flat fire damage. You'll also now inflict burning on every hit. Eat some poutine to bump up your physical damage and impact by another 20%. Poutine also gives the Warm boon, so it can be used to replace the Warm Potion. Drink a Rage Potion for another 50% impact. Now, with the Exalted passive and everything else you've just done, you have a grand total of 150% increased physical damage and 190% increased fire damage, as well as a 70% increase to your impact. With the Sunfall Axe equipped, you'll be doing around 50 physical and 101 fire damage for a total of 151 damage with 48 impact per hit. The special one-handed axe attack does 3 quick strikes at 1.3 times base damage and impact, which brings those numbers up to 196 damage and 62.4 impact per hit. With this kind of damage, you will absolutely melt nearly all of the endgame bosses, but you're also currently in a state where the bosses can melt you, but not for long. So onto resistances and becoming unstoppable. Along with the double damage, the Exalted passive also gives you a 10% increase to every damage resistance, as well as a negative 30% stamina cost. If you took the Divine Assistance passive in part 1 and have Zorn's Backpack, you'll be at negative 50% stamina cost, which is pretty insane, and when combined with stamina recovery, allows you to swing your weapon for a ridiculously long time. The white Kintsugi armor set is one of only a few armor sets that, with boons and buffs, allows you to hit 100% physical and impact resistance. The Sa armor is another good option and is indestructible, so won't need repairs. The reason I went for the Kintsugi set is it achieves the same result, but with the extra fire damage, and as long as you remember to repair your gear between fights, you shouldn't run into any problems. If you don't want to get the Exalted passive, you can actually also use the Blue Sand helmet and armor with the white Kintsugi boots and Lantern of Souls to get 100% resistance to everything except impact. Anyway, with your gear equipped, you're ready to complete the full process that lets you become an unstoppable killing machine. Drink a bunch of boon potions, drink a Warm Potion or eat poutine. Also drink a Mist Potion, Possessed Potion, Blessed Potion, Cool Potion, Discipline Potion, Rage Potion, and Mineral Tea. Now cast Runic Protection for some extra resistances. This is also when you should combine a Fire Sigil with Mana Ward to cast Immolate. With the spells cast, swap back to your Lantern of Souls. It's important to remember to do this because the Lantern is what brings your resistances up from 90% to 100%. Finish up by applying a varnish to your axe and drink an Elemental Resistance Potion. You drink the Elemental Resistance Potion last because its effects wear off the quickest. Now you're ready to farm a bunch of bosses. You don't need to be 100% immune to everything all the time, so think about which bosses you're fighting and use varnishes and potions as required. It will be an easy and hassle-free experience for about 30 in-game days, and it won't take long to harvest a bunch of endgame boss materials and to get started crafting some of the awesome endgame items. But as I mentioned at the start of the video, just make sure once the stage 3 life drain disease kicks in that you avoid the bosses that can debuff you, and be careful when traveling the world. Avoid falls and damage over time effects. To finish up this video, I'll quickly mention how I have my quick slots set up. I put Counter-Strike on Q, Fire Sigil on E, Mana Ward on R, Lantern of Souls on 1, Lexicon on 2, Desrune on 3, Egoth Rune on 4, and whatever item works best at the time on 5. Anyway, that is it for this video. It's been a bit of a process putting this one together, so I hope the information in this guide has been useful for you and helped you destroy some endgame bosses. Thanks for watching, have a good day or night, whichever it may be, and I'll see you in the next video.